So we're just gonna get into this the great separation. We're gonna this lecture one more do. I'm gonna just drop some kind of must have dropped some new gems, things we're learning and stuff like that, putting on it information all together so you people can understand what's really going on and why we seeing this great this what I call the great separation, guys. We separate the conspiracy theorists and government watchers. We off that. Okay? So we're not gonna be there no transvestigations no more. We're not gonna be there no conspiracy theory investigations. What the government is doing. The government's been doing this stuff for over 200 years, and there's absolutely no point in investing your time in silly things and massaging of the mind, and a lot of people just I don't think people believe this stuff is real. That's where this stuff is going. So we're going to explore some of these ideologies and concepts that these people are touching on, because this is actually one story, and it's the same story that's been spoken about for years. Okay, you go to India, they'll tell you the same thing. You go to Africa, they tell you the same thing. You go to the Indians, they tell you the same thing. There is not one tribe on this planet that don't know this stuff is actually real. Go to Haiti, same shit. Louisiana, same shit. You go to New Orleans, okay, the Brueros and Santeria, Palos of Mayombes, the Sangomas, the Xhosa people, the Bantu people, the Somalian people, Sudan, Ethiopia, Hebrews. Even the Hebrews touch on this. Even people like Zabak, they touch on this. Even if like our ideologies are slightly different, or our lenses are a bit different, it's still the same story though. Okay. What you have to understand is when we get into the subjects, is that all of these things, they tie into each other, and they also link. They are linked. Okay. You go to India, you're gonna find the Brahmas, the Krishnas, which is actually Abraham and Christ, just in different forms, okay, and different lenses. Like I said, it's the same thing, but really and truly, what we having a problem is a lot of people think this stuff is separate. It's really not. It's just saturated information spread across the whole world, and people have their different understanding of it. But really and truly, it's the same shit. You can go to the Dogon tribes, same shit. Okay, but the thing is, yeah, where we are now is we are in a transition from the third dimension into the fourth dimension thinking, into fifth dimension thinking, into higher dimensions of thinking, because the poles are shifting. Okay, every time the poles shift in the universe, okay, a new wave and frequency and brain patterns influence human beings to experience life on a higher level, which means new consciousness is coming in. But consciousness is just a generic term we're going to use that most people are more familiar with. Okay, it's a much more mundane way of looking at it, and it's a much more generic way of looking at things. But let's explore this, because this is what we have today in contemporary context, where illustrations are given to question your understanding of things and question your reality as you know it, because these people are talking about these things. Let's get into it. This is the first one. Okay.
Hey, check the magazine.
Okay, you just saw what just happened. Yeah, this woman is going to explain really what's going on, because I don't think what's happening is, yeah, a lot of black people are very slow, and a lot of people in general are very slow. So in order for people to understand this, we have to break it down with illustrations to give you an idea of what your brain is capable of doing. Not just your brain, but your consciousness, because really and truly, this world you're living in is actually, it's like a holographic experience. You're basically wearing goggles, and your brain is plugged into a reality which is based on moving images, because photographs are basically light trapped to create images of forms which we perceive in our brains as seeing somebody in space and time and motion. And when we start talking about things like motion, we're talking about movement. And when we start talking about movement, what we are seeing is images, which is trapped light, showing forms in your brain, giving you the illusion or the perception that people exist. But really and truly, it's a simulated digital image inside of your brain, like they said in the Matrix. Didn't they say that? That's exactly what they said. But now we're getting into the subject of time, movement, and space. Okay, and when we explore these subjects and ideas, this is what we get. We get bullets that come in reverse. Oh, diggers. Oh, niggas, it cracks his back. You gotta listen to this shit. This shit is amazing. Okay, listen to this.
How?
This nigga said how. Okay, so when I explain the stuff to you, you keep saying how is this possible and what are you talking about? But okay, let's hear it.
What are these glitters like us?
So this woman is now she's not equating our existence to this bullet moving in motion, and this as you saw, okay, you saw this shit with your eyes, bro. Okay, this bullet was moving backwards, in it, and in reverse. Now let's hear what she says.
Forwards, through time. The other one's going backwards.
And she's saying it's moving forward in time, and other ones are going backwards. But let's understand what she means by this.
Can you tell which is which? How about now?
How about now, niggas? Does this stuff make sense to you? Have you ever seen this stuff in your life? You ever seen this stuff in your life? Evoke some brain patterns in your brain. Upgrade your thinking, bro. Okay, think outside the box. I don't need to qualify this stuff or quantify this stuff because it's just self-explanatory. Okay, and this is where your brain needs to be in this time and space we're in today. And if you're not on this, go and watch some transliterations or chemtrails. Okay, go watch some chemtrails, bro.
It's inverted, etc.
And she said it's inverted. Inverted was when you turn something inside out. Okay, inverting. Okay, in is going inside, and verting, which is turning it on its back. Okay, explaining backwards motion. So with just this this clip we just had. If you crop this, basically what she's saying is, yeah, your thinking has to be inverted, okay, in order for you to experience this. Okay, let me explain it.
It's backwards, so to our eyes its movement is reversed. We think it's a type of inverse radiation triggered by nuclear fission.
She starts saying nuclear. Whenever you hear people start saying nuclear, they're about to get into neurons, which is neurons is atoms. And she's saying radiation. It's not freaking radiation, bro. Okay, these are fancy terms that people use. Okay,
We don't know how yet.
So where did it come from?
Someone's manufacturing them in the future. But
and she says someone is manufacturing these things in the future. Does the future exist, bro? Or is there a time? Or time? Does time even exist? Okay. Whatever, bro. Okay. No one is talking about this because you know why? People they just brain fart when they talk, bro. It's not something that they know for a fact. People just be talking rubbish. People be talking rubbish. I want you to hear this, yeah, for yourself. Okay. Okay.
Them was need to take time off. I don't believe in time.
And he said he don't believe in time. Okay. Why would somebody be saying he don't believe in time? It's okay. Whatever, guys.
They ain't gonna believe nothing. Alien. I'm gonna sign off. Been a time. Not to take time off. I don't believe in time.
You heard that? I don't believe in time. Okay? Time don't fucking exist, bro. Okay? That's what this guy said. You know, okay, you don't believe it. Okay, let's reverse it, bro.
Not to take time off. I don't believe in time. I just believe in science.
He said, I don't believe in time, I believe in science. Okay? What does that mean, bro? Your fucking chemtrails they're not gonna explain this, okay? Your granddad being an American Indian jumping around talking about, yeah, we're gonna bring the rain. He's not gonna explain this, okay? This is where the difference is. The difference is you people just see. I don't know. I don't understand how people's brains function, bro. But they're telling you, though, aren't they? They're telling you.
One of them believe in nine. Son of the Legion 9.
Son of the Legion 9.
She wanna go to the second.
So we don't need to all of that. Okay, so
real. All dreams real. My boy texted me, told me dream big. Like the cars that we own now. Remember we used to lease it, now we undefeated. Look.
and he told you that, you know, Kanye West told you that every single album he told you that he created all of this shit from dreaming. But now on this album he's telling you our dreams real. Okay? The other song we just played, it did say, I don't believe in time. I just believe in science. It's this album here is the same album that was used to create the Sunday service and the Sunday service album to do with gospels talking about Jesus. But really and truly, the same songs that he made, okay, from here, they talk about what? They talk about this stuff, time, dreams not even being real. Are you hearing this stuff, bro?
What the team did, our dreams are real. Our dreams real.
Are dreams real? And that's a question you're gonna have to answer for yourself. If you don't have to, if you don't have the answers for it, man, go back and put on your Indian clothing and say you're an Olmec. Okay, well done for being a fucking idiot. This is the same song Kanye West used to on his Sunday service album to talk about Jesus. But really and truly, this was the first version that he recorded, and it was going to be on the Yandi album, and the Yandi album never dropped. Well, we got this. There ain't no telling how we got this album, but really and truly, this was the original concept and version of the song. Okay. It's the same album he was using, saying use this gospel. Yeah, Jesus this, Jesus that. It's a lie, bro. This is what he really wrote about this stuff. And he turned this song into a gospel song. Kanye West is crazy, okay? But listen to this. It said, follow your pleasure, okay?
Your face, the love of attraction.
And now he's getting to the law of attraction, though. Okay. These bastards that dropped the film, The Secret, the books, The Secret, talking about the law of attraction. This stuff was taken from the Hermetic teachings, and that law of attraction is only one part of it. But when you get into the actual book, which they took this from, yeah, there is about 7 or close to like 10 or 12 other laws you're supposed to apply. The laws of polarities, the laws of whatever, gravity, the laws of allowance, all these kind of things. They didn't touch on it because that book, The Secret thing, yeah, it was just one part of it. That's why it don't work for people, because people they did not actually read where they took the shit from. Okay, they took this stuff from Hermetic teachings, Hermetica teachings. Okay, this goes back to the Greeks, but the Greeks they got that shit from Egypt. The Egyptians they got that shit from ancient Atlantis. But that's when you start going back into like the Book of the Dead and Dead Sea Scrolls and that Emerald Tablet. They kind of explain it because it's all the information is saturated, and that's where that went. Okay. Be careful what you ask for. Okay. And Kanye West told you that he got what he asked for. Every single thing he ever gotten in his life is because he asked for it using these teachings. Okay? That's what he's telling you. But the thing is, he changed this song into Jesus is whatever. Nobody gives a damn about Jesus, bro. Okay?
Exactly what I asked for. Put a stack on
Wants to do with the stuff we get into now, time travel, dreams real, aliens, what is it, Hermetica teachings, laws of attractions, and dimensions and stuff like that. But really, we're going to take it back to show you where this stuff is coming from, because a lot of people don't seem to understand this stuff. Okay. And this is the album. You hear this? We're looking to bring you enlightenment. Okay?
To offer illumination in stormy skies.
To offer you illumination.
We are here as beings of light.
Beings of light, which means he's talking about beings of light, not Jesus. What does it say about Bible? He changed it to Jesus, bro. You're crazy. Okay.
Benevolent, invested in humanity and her evolution.
Okay. That's where it's coming from. Let's go back to this.
They're streaming back at us. Try it. You have to have dropped it.
Okay. I wanted to stop it here because this is where everybody's not getting it. Okay. So this woman said, yeah, in order for you to experience this, okay, you have to drop. There is an act or an action that needs to be taking place, yeah? And the act is dropping it in order for it to respond. So the same thing with your thoughts, innit? Your brain has to be able to create this action of dropping this bullet, okay? In order for you to create anything in this time and space, you have to create this action in your brain, okay? In order for it to respond to whatever thoughts or intention that you have in your brain. That's basically what's happening here. So the law of attraction doesn't even work here if you don't recreate or understand this ideology or concept of dropping something, which means you have to create an action in your brain or an intent in your brain, okay, to activate the brain patterns frequency to match it with whatever intention that you have. So that means you have to create what they call a forgery. This is what they spoke about in Inception. You have to create a forgery. Okay. Oh, guys. Okay. You guys are losers, bro. Okay. Let's. Okay. Let's get to it. But I just have to give you the map to follow it because I don't think you understand what's going on.
I think we only use a fraction of our brain's true potential.
Okay, so let's get into this. They say we only use a fraction of our brain's potential. What that means is we all human beings on the planet are using less than 20% of their brain. Okay, so if you use 20% of your brain, the other 80% is what we're getting into. Okay, this is where they need to reset people's brains. Niggas is taking reset pills. That's why niggas is thinking that they're Indians and Moors and whatever you call yourselves. Bunch of idiots. Just idiots. Okay, so we only use 20% of our brain, and those 20% they give us about 6 to 7 senses. Or when people say, "Oh, this is the sixth sense," I've experienced the sixth sense. That's when you start to experience things like telepathic and all of that. But to go beyond 20%, you want to explain it.
No, that's when we're awake. When we're asleep.
And now you're saying when we're asleep, okay, what happens with the brain? So we use 20% when we're awake. Awake could mean anything. Awake could mean this reality that we're living in now. But in order for you to program an intention, you have to, okay, you have to get in the space of the dream, because the dream is where your brain programs things. Everything that you're experiencing right now is on a buffer. You know, when people say, "Oh, it's buffering," the computer is buffering, the video game is lagging. It's because it's buffering, okay, in time to bring in intentions programmed in the mind. So, based on what your brain is occupied with, that's what you create. Because in psychology, people like Freud, well, this is his theory. He explored this theory. Okay, that means he went to speak to different patients and stuff, and actually studied um, and had experiments with these kind of concepts. Okay,
Our mind can do almost anything.
but see, when you're asleep, your mind can do anything. Okay, almost anything. Meaning your mind can create an intention that will overlap or manifest in your reality based on this concept. But remember, we just showed you the bullet thing. In order for the bullet to react to it, or in order for your thoughts or your brain to react to this bullet thing, okay, your intention, you have to create this stuff in your dreams, okay, or in a dream state.
Such as, well, imagine you're designing a building, right? You consciously create each aspect. But sometimes it feels like it's almost creating itself if you.
And it says sometimes it almost seems like it's creating itself. Okay, this is you guys don't get it, man. You don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get it. Sometimes it feels like it's creating itself because they call that let him speak. Let him say.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I'm discovering.
Genuine inspiration, right? Now,
So sometimes even when you start to see certain things, you start to think, oh, it's genuine inspiration. If you do the same thing every single day, let's say every day you're going to wake up and pick up mushrooms and study them and start to create certain things from those mushrooms. The more you do it, your brain is going to get to a point, yeah, that your intuitive intelligence is going to activate. And when your intuitive intelligence activates, it starts to seem like genuine inspiration. So this is what people that like artists, singers, rappers, and painters and stuff like people even people that make music. It's like Mozart and those kind of people. If you study the life of Mozart, yeah, this guy used to make music and it used to sound like just like anything. But one day, him continuously beating on his talent or creativity, he discovered a new style of making music. The first time he played this music, people said he was mad. Okay? And this is the same music today that is revered by all musicians and people that are to do with accolades and stuff like that. These are the Grammys anywhere. You can go anywhere in the books of history that will tell you Mozart is one of the greatest composer in the universe. Okay, and they will say Picasso is the greatest painter in the world. Well, one of the greatest painters, isn't it? That's what they will say. But why are they saying this? Is because at some point these niggas, okay, these white niggas, they were just going around painting shit. But one day, because they continuously did this, they discovered a new way of painting. We can even find that with a film called if I can find the shit.
He does this. We create and perceive our world simultaneously in our.
You see, we create and perceive. We drop the bullet, and we perceive the bullet in reality. Okay, that's what's going on. But the creation process, it happens in a dream. Okay, and we perceive it in its reality or whatever we call reality.
Our mind does this so well that we don't even know it's happening. That allows us to get right in the middle of that process.
How?
By taking over the creating part. Now, this is where I need you.
So taking over the creative part, this is the whole point of this shit. And this is the whole point why the whole world needs to be reset. Because if niggas get to a point where they can do this, it's game over, bro. That's how the brain works. It's science, bro. Okay? It's science. This shit was never to do with Christianity. It's just nonsense.
You create the world of the dream.
You create the world of the dream, okay? So that means in your dreams, your whole life it should be to do with creating whatever intentions you want to create and you perceive them.
You bring the subject into that dream.
You bring the subject into the dream, okay?
And they fill it with their.
Then they feed it with their minds. Okay, let's really explain this, because there is a nigga that explained this shit in his book. I found this book, bro. Okay, this is why you have to read, because people don't read. Listen to this. Living off delusion is healthy. This is a book called. I'll show you in a bit. I'll show you in a bit. Okay, let's read some of this. Let's read some of this stuff. Okay. Everything is unrealistic until it's not. Follow your dream despite its contradiction with the known reality and the rational expectations and assumptions of other people. You must believe in what you're doing before anyone else can. Okay? This chapter is called Living Off Delusion. Okay? And this is the same shit that this nigga was talking about. It's, listen to what he said.
Their subconscious. By taking over the creating part, now this is where I need you. You create the world of the dream.
You create the world of the dream. How do you do that? Let's go back to read. Let's read this. Living off delusion is healthy. So you have to create a delusion. I was speaking to somebody the other day on WhatsApp. This guy is from Louisiana, bro. This is what we were talking about. I told him, I said, yo, this is what you gotta do, okay? And the nigga started laughing because he said, yo, I've been saying the same shit. Okay? Listen to this. Everything is unrealistic until it's not. Follow your dream despite its contradictions with the known reality and the rational expectations and assumptions of other people. So you don't worry what other people think. You must believe in what you're doing before anyone else can. If you feel you need advice or praise, you are the problem. If the 14-year-old me played me his music and asked for my honest reaction, though I would never have said to him would be, "This is terrible. I really don't see this working." Okay, a lot of people don't see this stuff working, but because I've been the 14-year-old with terrible beats and the 26-year-old with a successful career, I know that if you are seeking outside validation, you're already losing to yourself. You have to be delusional. Okay? Oh God. This is the realest shit I heard the whole year. Okay, not chemtrails. So you hear what this guy is saying. Listen to this. This is by Russ. This is an artist. He's a rapper. This book is actually on YouTube right now. There's an audio version of it. Okay. You can go listen to it, or you can buy the paper version of it and read it until you get it. Okay. What do you say? What do you say? What do you say here? Let's read it again. You have to be delusional to even start. So this is the creative part. In order for you to create anything, you have to be delusional, let alone to keep going. You have to be the first person who thinks that you are going to achieve what you have to set out to do. This is intention. When I was 14, contrary to the aforementioned hypothetical situation, I would never have asked the 26-year-old me for advice because I thought I was better than him. When I was 22, I would spend months at a time in a storefront basement owned by one of my good friends. We don't care what his name was. Despite being broke, sleeping on the couch, that was too small even for me, and having questionable hygiene, it was my ideal situation. I got to sleep in the studio and focus on music 24/7. His store, was a hub for up and coming artists. You never knew who would be passing through. A girl who made sunglasses for Lady Gaga, whatever. It's all of this stuff. So you got to meet all these people, got to work with all these people. The same shit happened to me, bro. I've worked with people like Travis Scott before Travis Scott was anything. 2014, I have proof that Travis Scott reached out to me and rang me to talk to me about music, bro. Before I even knew who Travis Scott was. Okay? So delusion is part of it. Let's go back to this.
You bring the subject into that dream, and they fill it with their subconscious.
So you have to bring the subject into the dream, and they will feel it with their subconscious. It's the same shit you gotta do in order for you to create this stuff. Okay.
How could I ever acquire enough detail to make them think that it's reality?
Well, dreams, they feel real while we're in them.
And now we're saying dreams feel real while we're in them.
Right. It's only when we wake up that we realize something was actually strange. Let me ask you a question. You never really remember the beginning of the dream, do you?
You don't remember the beginning of a dream? Guys, you know this stuff.
We wind up right in the middle of what's going on.
I guess, yeah.
So how did we end up here?
And this is why they want people to think they're Olmecs, Native Indians, and whatever, Pan-Africanist, whatever. It's just nonsense, guys. There is no such thing as I'm a Hebrew Israelite or I'm a whatever. It's silly, okay? It's because this stuff needs to be reset, and anybody that thinks like this, their brain needs to be reset. That's why people in lockdown, because they got to reset your thinking.
Well, we just came from the,
Think about it, Ariadne. How did you get here? Where are you right now?
You're dreaming?
You're actually in the middle of the workshop.
And I told you, you guys are dreaming. This life is a dream.
Stop lying now. I'm sleeping. This is your first lesson in shared things. Stay calm.
Every time you say you're a Pan-Africanist or melanin popping or you're Black Lives Matter, it's just silly, guys. Every time you talk about chemtrails and what the government is doing, you're dreaming, okay? And now the dreams start to break up because you're starting to realize this is a dream. So when you realize that this world don't exist the way you think it does, it will start to break down, and the simulation will start to break down. If you don't believe me, before you go to sleep, just say this world don't exist. Say you don't exist. Say your mother never existed, your dad never existed, your friend don't exist, the time never existed. All that time I was dreaming that shit. When your dad died, that nigga never even existed. Okay? Your birth, you wasn't even born. Okay? Say all that shit and see what happens. Your whole room is gonna turn black, and you're gonna see you're gonna get a visit from some people you don't really want to know. Okay? You see what's going on. She was dreaming the whole time.
Got the basic layout. Bookstore, cafe, almost everything else is here too.
Who are the people?
Projections in my subconscious.
And now this guy is telling you that every single person that you meet on the planet is actually a projection from your subconscious brain. Your brain is telling you these people exist. There's not one person that exists on this planet. It's just consciousness and a bunch of holograms. The cars are holograms. The architecture is digital architecture. Okay? There's not one person on this planet making a building. It's just lies, okay? Your brain is telling you this nigga is working in construction. None of those niggas ever built any building. You've never seen them building any building. The only thing you see construction sites doing, they just be fixing roads and stuff like that. But you never see them building any ancient building or building with this architecture. They don't build this stuff. It's just assimilation. It's fake. You just go, if you don't believe me, go on any construction site and just watch these niggas. They're not doing anything. They're just pretending to create things. Okay? There is a computer system that is building every single building on the planet. Everything you're seeing, the architecture is built in a computer system. People don't build anything. Okay? That's what's going on.
Yours?
Remember, you are the dreamer. You build this world. I am the subject. My mind populates. You can literally talk to my subconscious. That's one of the ways we extract information from the subject.
What else do you do?
By creating something secure like a bank vault or a jail, the mind automatically fills it with information it's trying to protect. Understand?
Then you break in and steal it.
Well,
I guess I thought that the dream space would be all about the visual, but it's more about the feeling. My question.
See, that's another important thing. It's about the feeling. We're gonna get. I'm gonna drop a second illustration to show you what feeling is all about.
Question is, what happens when you start messing with the physics of it?
Now you see these buildings moving, yeah. That means every single building that you see in your street, yeah, it's not actually real. It's not real. There is no fucking red Indians, bro. You're not an Indian. You're just an idiot. Okay, you're just somebody that thinks. You bought into an idea that somebody given to you. Now you think your granddad was an Indian. Idiots say stuff like that. Okay. But people that really know this stuff, they don't go around saying the Indians, bro. Okay. You see, this is why I tell you that there is not one architect that's building these buildings. The whole town was never built by no architects. It was built by the computer system, and your brain is telling you that some architect built this shit. It's just silly, bro. The only people that's building stuff is the Anunnaki. Okay.
yes, it is.
So you tell me what architect that you know. Okay, one of your dad or your uncle told you he's an architect. You go and ask him what building did he build today. that's in the town. He won't tell you that he built that because the human beings don't build these things. There's not one human being that's building no fucking towns or whatever. Or the only thing they do is repairing. So what you tell me? One of your Olmec or indigenous Aboriginal uncle, if he ever built a town that was upside down, you go and tell me that, okay? And when you find that out, you can bring me the sources.
Why are they all looking at me?
Because my subconscious feels that someone else is creating this world.
So when your subconscious brain starts to realize that you're realizing, okay, that this world is not real, this is what happens. Your brain will start to attack you, okay? Okay.
The more you change things, the quicker the projections start to converge on you.
They start to converge, which means they start to attack you.
Sense the foreign nature of the dreamer.
They attack like white blood cells fighting an infection.
This is why you have to do anything and everything to protect your brain, okay? So not really your brain, because the thing is, yeah, in your brain, there's about 3 parts. You have your conscious brain, you have your subconscious brain, you have your unconscious brain, then you have your reptilian brain, then you have your third eye, your pineal gland, then you have your oblongata, which is the glands in your brain. All of these mechanisms in your brain, they do different things, and they tell you things, so to give you a perception of a reality which doesn't really exist, a reality which can be manipulated and changed and whatever through intention, or what they call programming.
They're going to attack us?
No.
Every time you say you're indigenous or indigenous Indian, what do you call yourselves? Bear grease, guys. Just bear grease. We was here. We was already here. This is some of the stuff you guys be saying because you're idiots. Okay? You were never here.
Mind telling your subconscious to take it easy?
My subconscious. Remember, I can't control it.
You can't even control it. Okay? The next time you tell yourself, my granddad was an Indian, your subconscious brain is going to create more Indians for you to believe that stuff is real. That's called reset pills. Every single person on this planet is taking reset pills. You're resetting your mind into believing a lie. The same way the whole world believes Donald Trump is the worst president on the planet, it's because the media tells you Donald Trump is the worst president, but you think Joe Biden is the best president. You don't even know the guy, but you think that's the best guy because that's the lie they're telling you. The whole world is being taught that Joe Biden is the savior, while they're making Donald Trump the bad guy. Okay, Donald Trump is the only guy that was in the way of this. Okay. The same way, now you believe you're an Olmec, you're a Moor, you used to be a Pan-African, you was this African tribe, and it's just silly, guys. It's silly, okay? The stuff you believe is silly, and I'll even go to the extent to say Africa is just a videotape. All those tribes, if you ever look at it, bro, if you was to go back in time, or even if you was to go to a Aboriginal people today and say, hi grandma, that Aboriginal will tell you, get the fuck away from me, okay? Because you're not Aboriginals, okay? You just tell yourself that stuff. So this is the part that explains the world you're living in. Every single human being you're seeing is an actual mirror of your subconscious brain. Okay? Your thoughts are mirrored in every single human being that you see walking on the street, at your work. Okay? Every building you walk into. And this is where the problem is. The problem is some people know this, and the more you know this stuff, okay, it's the more they have to keep pushing different ideologies and things to make you think you're some kind of indigenous American Indian, okay? You're not an American Indian, guys. And you were never an Olmec. The Olmecs were giants. They were not regular human beings. They were giants, okay? Your granddad was never a giant, bro. Okay. Now you see what's happening. Yeah, she's turned this mirror into another mirror, creating this. So how this world was created, or how this simulation was created, it was created on the laws of physics. Okay, if you was to learn science today, the laws of physics will tell you, okay, if you turn a mirror into another mirror, it will create another world or a fake world. So this world is basically a mirror looking into another mirror, and the reflection that you see in that mirror, which is this world you're living in, which means that world you're living in is not real. It's a mirror inside of a mirror inside of a mirror. So there's three worlds. There's one mirror facing another mirror, which is one world facing another world. And when you look into that world, it's another world. So it's three different levels of the dream. This is what we call reality. So your life is basically mirrors inside of a mirror inside of a mirror. That's basically how you create a simulation or a holographic experience. Okay? That's how dimensions work as well. And when you do that, it will break into this.
Very impressive.
You see? That's what's going on. That's what's going on. You wanted to know what's going on? That's what's going on. This is where the size of this guy saying delusions and that. So it starts with the delusion, and that delusion will go into a realization, and that realization will become intuitive realization, which goes into creating another world, which is intended. That's how you create worlds. Okay? Do you get this? Your Olmec granddad, did he tell you this? Niggas is saying they're Olmecs. How can you be an Olmec when Olmecs were giants, bro? You guys are silly. It's just silly. We have a bunch of people that are very silly in their thinking. Okay. 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 Let's get into this. Okay. Okay. That was a good breakdown. Okay. Now let's get into where this stuff comes from. Where does this stuff really come from? It comes from the ancient ones, and the ancient ones are the great old ones. And the furthest back we can go to is Cthulhu. Cthulhu is a concept created by Lovecraft. If you ever read Lovecraft's books, he tells you about this stuff. This is where the terms like Necronomicon came from, to do with the necromancy and necrophilia, and this is to do with death and raw power. Okay, when we say raw power, we go back to the beginning. In the beginning was this is the beginning of before Jesus was born, before God was a creation. There was a thing called chaos. Okay. In the beginning was chaos. In the beginning there was not Jesus, bro. Okay? There was no nigga called Jesus in the beginning. In the beginning there was chaos, which is this. You see this atom here? This was in the beginning. Okay? And this atom represents chaos. This is the atom that created the Titans. Okay? And from the Titans, the mythology, it evolves into creatures like dragons, fairies, mermaids, witches, and all of these kind of things. Okay, this is where your stories like Harry Potter came from, and Lord of the Rings, Predator, things of such. And today we have a series called Titans. Okay. And in this series, they break down how Superman and Batman came from that. Okay, that's what happened. You don't believe it? Go and read any book. Go to the library today and read any book. They're gonna tell you this. And this is where your Egyptian stuff start to come. And I've illustrated it this way so you can see that this stuff is actually here today, but it's just in a contemporary context. This is basically you, but you have an ancient aspect of yourself that you're not aware of, which is why niggas have to be reset, because you don't read, you don't study, you've never read a book in your life, so you don't know what the hell is going on. Okay, this is why I tell you, you have to read, you have to study, you have to go and read science, metaphysics books, metaphysical books, and you have to read all religions, from the Indian religions, African religion, Indian religion, Chinese religion, and you have to study the planets, you have to study Kabbalah, you have to study every single thing, every subject, in order for you to understand this stuff. But you're not going to get it, because that's why I have to put it in a lecture like this so you can see it. Okay? This is really you. This is me. Okay? But really me is really this. Because inside of you, there is an ancient mind, or an ancient technology, which is about, I would say about 500 million or 500 billion to about 1 trillion years old. That's how old this stuff is. Okay? If you go and study, the human brain is 500 billion years old. That's how advanced a human brain is, as far as in, like, if we was to calculate, you know, when you used to be primitive, we used to have hunter gatherers, we used to have these. That's when you go and study any subject, they'll tell you, yeah, we have these different periods. You have the wars going on, the World War One, World War Two, okay, and after that, the industries start to come in. You have the metal industry, period. You have the coal industry, period, okay, and post modernism, okay. That's where you start to get into this 21st century stuff, where human beings think a certain way, but somehow, okay, somehow, there is not one human being on this planet that can create a pyramid today. Not even one. You go to Dubai, there is not one pyramid in Dubai. Why is that? It's because there is not one human being that can create a pyramid. In order for you to create a pyramid, you have to be using 100% of your brain, but human beings use 20%. And that is why you cannot create nothing that's close to a pyramid. And to just give you the scale of what we're talking about, it's a pyramid is aligned to the constellations of the stars. Okay? That means the precision that was used to build a pyramid had to take an intelligence, okay, that can line buildings to stars. Can you line a building to stars, my bro? There is not one architect that can do that today. Not even one. You can go to Germany, you've got Scotland, Ireland, you can go anywhere. There is not one architect alive today that can create a pyramid or a building that is built to precision of a pyramid. And if you say your granddad was an Olmec, there is not one granddad in your whole genealogy that can create an Olmec head. Okay? Olmec heads were created with a technology more advanced than any human being on the planet. That means to cut rock off an Olmec head, okay, you need to have the equipment, or you need to have a diamond cutting instrument to cut the rock. They can't cut no rocks today in There is not one architect that could do this shit. There is, with all the Teslas, with all the PS5s, with all the technology we have today, there is not one human being that has the technology. Even Elon Musk today, he cannot have the equipment to cut a rock to make an Olmec head. Okay? It's just impossible. The head's about 15 to like 30 feet tall. And you're saying your granddad was an Olmec. You guys are retarded. Okay? When people say stuff like that, you have to just know that these people, they're uneducated. They're just a bunch of losers and weirdos. Okay? We're gonna get into this in a bit. Let me show you. This is Saudi Arabia. Okay? If you go to Saudi Arabia, there is these mountains with these temples built into them. Okay? There is not one architect that can make this. But they will tell you the Saudi Arabia is there was the creator. There is not one. This is one Saudi Arabian that can make this shit, bro. Okay? It's just impossible. And if they had the technology to do it, how come they're not doing it today? They just can't do it. Okay, so what's going on? There is ancient technology within you, which has a computer system, and this computer system is about 1 trillion years old, and the technology is ancient. It's so ancient. It's so advanced that there is no one PS5 or Tesla car that's fucking with this shit. Okay. Look at it, okay? Inside of every single human being, there is this spaceship. I won't use the term spaceship because it's a bit generic, but I'll say there is a multi-dimensional traveling technology which they call the Merkaba. The Merkaba, it transcends time. That means you can go beyond time. You can go beyond time and space. This is where concepts like time travel start to come in. And if you don't believe in time travel, go and study Peter Moon's books, Preston Nichols. They will tell you the government and the CIAs, these people were experimenting with time travel back in Germany, okay? And after that time, this was going through the world wars and World War I, World War II. Hitler was creating a time travel. That's what he was doing. Hitler was not going around killing Jews. This is the most bullshit stuff they will tell you. Okay, but if you watch the film Wonder Woman, they'll tell you that Hitler had scientists creating these kind of things, experimenting with time travel. Okay, go and study Hitler's inventions. He created the Bell technology, which was used to time travel. Okay, Hitler was not going around killing Jews. Just that's silly. That's the most silliest thing you will hear people saying. So all of these things they're explored in films like Predator. Predator, he's got the technology, and it's alien technology, which is getting into stuff that's coming from the beginning. And in the beginning, like I said, there was chaos. Jesus didn't even exist when this stuff was happening. Okay, there was no Jesus, there was no Allah, there was none of them niggas. None of them niggas were existing. There was no Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad was not even here, bro. Okay, this was way before Prophet Muhammad was even a name. Okay, this was going on. So this is you, but really and truly, the other side of you is this, and this is you. The other side of you is this, and this was explored in the film Venom, and they showed you that melanin or antimatter, okay, is a substance. Is a substance which goes back into ancient times, which is basically raw matter, and raw matter is actually chaos. And if you get hold of this substance, that means you can blow up and die, bro. That's what it means. Look at it, bro. You don't believe it. Look at this. This is basically you, but the other side of you is this, the ancient side of you, which you don't know nothing about this. This is you. Okay. And there's also things like shape shifting technology. So when you start to get into the other 80% of your brain, the senses in your brain will start to wake up. And in order for that to happen, you need to have a transformation which they call Kundalini transformation. But basically what that means is it's when you're, let's see if I have the illustration for this here. Okay. So look at this. This is what happens. In order for you to experience all of these ancient substance technology, you need to have a build-up of fluid, which builds up in your nervous system. Okay, the nervous system is what controls the functions of your whole body. Your whole body has an actual technology inside of it. Okay, your heart has an intelligence which they call the emotion intelligence. Your brain has an intelligence as well, which is your thought patterns. So that means your conscious brain deals with like your everyday shit. Your unconscious brain deals with the creation of realities and perception of different simulations and stuff like that. So in order for that to happen, a fluid in your nervous system is just right here, okay, in your spine. It will create a fluid, and in this fluid will activate your DNA, which the scientists call the junk DNA. Okay, so when this junk DNA unlocks, what happens is the fluid build up, okay, from your DNA. It will rise in your spine, okay. You see this light here. It will rise in your spine all the way to your brain, and when it rises to your brain, okay, this is what happens. Let me show you guys. It will rise into your brain and it will pour into your brain. Okay. And when that happens, this is what takes place. Let me show you. I don't think you get it. Because you're a bit slow. When was the last time you read a book? Yeah, I don't think you niggas read books. But anyways, so this fluid will rise into your brain, okay? Then it will colonize your brain. So when the spinal fluid rises to your brain, it will colonize your brain, and when that happens, parts in your brain, so your third eye will be activated with this fluid. This side of your brain will be activated. This side of your brain will be activated. This side of your brain will be activated. This side of your brain will be activated, and you will be able to do things like move atoms, asteroids, and every single element on this planet and outside the planet, like asteroids and galaxies. Okay, RFG has never said this, not even once. I've never heard RFG say this, not even Arkan Ra say this shit. Okay, when these parts are now activated, so what happens is, yeah, this fluid is what activates your dormant brain. You have a brain which is dormant, which you have never used. That's the other 80%. Okay, that 80% allows you to bend time and space and manipulate things. You start to get into galactic thought patterns. Okay, things like acoustic, radiation, radioactive, cosmic, celestial thinking. This is intelligence, bro. Okay, this is an intelligence that not one human being has ever used on this planet today. But the people like the Dogon tribes are using it. The tribes in Africa are using it. The tribes, the Indians, they're kind of using it because they have a little bit of it. You know, they pass this shit to their children, and they say, oh yeah, it's the rites of passage, and the Jacob's ladder, and it's the Christ, Jesus Christ. There is no Jesus Christ. Okay, The only Jesus Christ there is the spine fluid. The spine fluid goes to your brain, and your brain activates the dormant parts in your brain, which activates 96, okay, 96 senses in your brain. So if we use 6%, if we use six senses to do all the shit that we're doing today, your Steve Jobs was using about 6 to 7%, 6 to 7 senses in his brain, which means he was probably tapping closer to like 20% of his brain. People like Elon Musk, with the help of the Anunnakis and alien beings and reptilians, Dracos, Anunnakis and whatever, they're using close to 20% to 30%. Okay, but if we look in the animal kingdom, I would say the smartest animal, not the smartest animal. This is the smartest being on this planet. It's a dolphin. A dolphin uses 25% of his brain. Okay, 25% of his brain. There is not one human being using 25% of their brain, but a dolphin has the intelligence, okay, to use 25% of his brain, creating an intelligence called the sonar radiation. Okay, sonar radiation. Snakes use different senses. Animals like cheetahs, lions, snakes, cats, okay, they can see into other higher levels of consciousness based on these senses they develop. Okay, a thing like even a rat uses more intelligence than human beings. Okay, a dog has has a better chance of tapping into higher forms of intelligence than an actual human being. Okay, because dogs, they can hear sounds that we can't hear. Animals can hear sounds that we can't hear. If you go outside, you see birds that will fly into patterns. Okay, that's because they're following a frequency which human beings have been locked out of, because based on ignorance and thinking that they're more intelligent. Animals are more intelligent than human beings. And to even explain it a bit further, I would say a dolphin a dolphin is the most intelligent species on the planet today. I'm not even joking, guys. I am not joking. Okay, I am not joking at all. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, 99% of your brain, if you get to this level, you're a G. Okay. Now let's get into the science of the brain and why your brain is stupid. Okay? This is why dolphins are more intelligent than human beings, because human beings are idiots, including myself. Okay? Don't get offended, including myself. I'm stupid too. Okay, so you know what's worse? What's worse than a stupid human being? Is a black person saying they're an Olmec. That's the most stupid shit I've ever heard this year. Amazing stuff, guys. Amazing stuff. Okay.
In for a few moments, what our life would be like if we could access, let's say, 20%.
Okay.
Two solutions: be immortal or to.
Okay, so I just want you to hear some of these. I want you to hear this. This is like a lecture form of. This is why you're supposed to watch lectures and go attend lectures and go to the library and just read stuff, because If you don't read and if you don't study, good luck to you
Any
guys.
sign of intelligence yet?
No one is going to drop this because niggas is stupid. That's what's going on.
Life starts approximately.
All human beings are idiots, bro. That's why I don't listen. When somebody tells me something, I'll be like, yeah, well done, bro. It sounds good. Where did you start from this?
We will have to wait 400,000 years to see the aberration of the first nerve cells. This is where life as we know it begins. Brains in formation of only a few milligrams. It's not possible to determine any sign of intelligence yet. It acts more as a reflex. One.
No, I think we need to go back to a little bit. I just want you to hear what this guy is saying because I don't think you guys understand what's going on. It's all right. Let's start here.
Neuron, you're alive. 2 neurons. You're moving.
And now he's talking about movement. I said 2 neurons and you're moving. So basically what he's saying, yeah, whenever you hear somebody talking about neurons, they're talking about atoms in your brain. They're talking about an intelligence. Whenever you hear things like neuro, melanin, or nervous system, or neuroscience, they're talking about the brain, okay? They're talking about the cerebral intelligence.
And with movement, interesting things begin to happen. Animal life on Earth goes back millions of years. Yet, most species only use 3 to 5% of their cerebral capacity. But it isn't until we reached human beings at the top of the animal chain that we finally see a species use more of its cerebral capacity.
More of the cerebral capacity. So what are you saying, yeah? Human beings have an intelligence inside of them, but we've only been able to tap into that intelligence at a percentage of like 10 to 20%. I would say 20, but that's just me. Like, that's me being generous, though.
10% may not seem like much, but it's a lot if we look at all we've done with it.
See, we made planes and stuff, and human beings created planes, a couple buildings and whatever. You go to Dubai, you say, "Oh my God, have you seen that building?" And when you look at car reviews today, they'll be like, "You seen that Tesla car? Have you ever seen what it does?" It's just stupid shit, guys. when you go to school, they'll be like, "Oh, guy, he's so intelligent." Really, really, guys.
Now let's discuss a special case. The only living being that uses its brain better than us.
But now you're saying the only human being is not really mean a human being. The only species on this planet that use more brain sensors or more of its cerebral capacity is what?
The dolphin.
The dolphin.
It is estimated that this incredible animal uses up to 20% of its cerebral capacity. In particular, this allows it to have an echolocation system that is more efficient than...
See, a dolphin has the ability to use 20% of its brain, and this sense that it has, okay, allows it to use an intelligence called echolocation, sonar intelligence.
And any sonar invented by mankind. But the dolphin did not invent the sonar, it developed it.
See, it developed this, which means, yeah, somehow this species had to develop this intelligence as an adaptation of its environment. Okay, in order for it to be more proficient in the sea, it developed this because this stuff is already inside of it.
Naturally. And this is the crucial part of our philosophical reflection we have today. Can we therefore conclude that humans are concerned more with having?
So we are more interested in having categories and naming ourselves. Oh, we are this, we are that. We are Olmecs, we are indigenous people, we're the Aboriginals, than actually having the science of it all. You see the separation now? You see the separation between what I'm teaching you or what I'm showing you, what I'm illustrating, to another person telling you used to be an Olmec, which is not even historically a fact. Okay? Oh man. Some of you guys are absolutely ridiculous.
Than being.
Than actually being. There is not one person that has an interest in actually being the stuff they talk about. Can you be an Olmec? Can you be an ancient thinker? No, you can't. Because you're more interested in having a title to your name. To say, my grandma's hair was straight. It's the most ridiculous shit. It's retarded, guys. You got to do better than the stuff you be saying. You got to listen to yourself when you speak. When you say, "Oh yeah, I'm a Moor," you're not a Moor, bro. Okay, you are not whatever you want to call yourselves. Okay. Now let's go. Let's go back to this lecture again.
Or to reproduce. If its habitat is not sufficiently favorable or nurturing, the cell will choose immortality. In other words, self-sufficiency and self-management.
Reset pills. This is where we're going. We're going to reset pills. Every time you accept that Donald Trump is a bad guy, you are accepting an ideology that somebody's giving you. Okay? And every time you say, oh, Joe Biden, he's the good guy, you're accepting the reset pills to take your brain about another 500 million years backwards. Okay? You're going back into retardation or degeneration. That's what it means.
On the other hand, if the habitat is favorable,
Bear Grease, guys.
they will choose to reproduce. That way, when they die, they hand down essential information and knowledge to the next cell, which hands it down to the next cell, and so on.
Okay, so this is what's happening. The moment all of you guys accepted the concept of being Olmecs, indigenous, aboriginals, you set your ancestors about 500 million years backwards because you've accepted a lie, okay? And this lie that you've accepted, okay, is now written in your DNA. So your child, when your child is born, your DNA is passed on to your child, plus the DNA of your whoever you choose to be with, your spouse or whatever. Okay, because DNA is it's distributed. You get 50% from the mother side, and you get 50% from the father side. By the time your child is born, they have about 25% of DNA from the father and 25% DNA from the mother. Okay. So by the time that child is born, they have about 2% DNA from if your granddad was like whatever, Irish, Scottish, especially if you're American, bro. Okay. What this means is you have about 5% DNA from an Irish person or a Scottish person. You have another 5 to 10% African DNA. You have about another 2% to whatever Indian. If that's one your granddad was an Indian, you have about 1%. By the time the DNA gets to you, you're 1% Indian, which means you're not an Indian, bro. That means you're just a you're a mixed race person, which means every single human being is actually mixed race, really and truly. Because if you go to Africa, all the Africans are mixed. If you go to Mexico, all the Mexicans are mixed. If you go to India, all the Indians are mixed. But the thing is, what you don't understand is that in the beginning, there was an African engineer, okay? Or there was these Anunnaki beings, which are the engineers of all human beings, okay? Which took DNA of an African mother, okay? And spliced the genes into different animals. This is where you start to get into the Rh positive, meaning your rhesus monkey blood positive, which means you have rhesus monkey blood inside of your veins. And you also have Neanderthal, what's it called? Neanderthal blood in your veins too, which is about 8%. Okay. By the time you was born, you're gonna see a bunch of Americans. They got green eyes, hazel eyes, and whatever. That's because they are mixed race people. Okay, you're not an Indian. It's just ridiculous. And to even expand on that, dogs have human DNA too. In order for these beings to domesticate animals like cows, chickens, cats, whatever. They had to mix a lion with a snake DNA to create a cat. They had to mix a wolf DNA with human DNA, with rabbits, and all of these kind of things to create the dogs we have today. How do you think you got those different type of dogs? You got a bulldog, you got an Alsatian, you got a fucking Doberman dog. You have all these different types of dogs which were created from a wolf. Okay, a wolf had to be taken. The genes of a wolf had to be spliced with human DNA to domesticate the wolf. That's how you domesticate animals. So every single thing that you eat, from your burgers and whatever, they got human DNA. Even fucking mushrooms have human DNA. Okay, mushrooms. And I'll even go further and say human skin, okay, was created from a bacteria, and this bacteria is called fungus or fungi. Okay, so if you take fungi, that's where skin came from, and this fungi was injected or was spliced with different genes. This is where you start to get into genetic engineering of when you start to splice and crossbreed in animals to create your Lucia. So that woman you niggas are talking about saying, oh, this is Lucia, we was in Brazil. You were not in Brazil, bro. Okay? They had to take genes from different animals to create Lucia. Okay? In order for a Lucia to even exist, Lucia is an actual it's what they call the modern hybrid human being. The same way today we live in the 21st century, we live in a contemporary context, okay, is the same way they created Lucia. Lucia, before Lucia was born, you want me to show you where Lucia was born? Let me show you guys. I'll show you Lucia, okay? Yeah, we're done with this. Let me show you Lucia. Just I start to show you the retardation of people, because you don't study, you don't read anything. You somebody will tell you one thing and you think, oh yeah, that's what it is. No, you have to go to the etymological understanding of things, because etymology is the study of words, and it's the beginning of words, okay, and how these words were evolved with time and context. Okay, let's look for Lucia, bro. Niggas is retarded, bro. Let me show you how retarded these guys are. I'm the only person that studied this. You never see one person breaking this down, because people don't have the knowledge to even come to this. Okay. If you don't believe it, I'm gonna show you with proof though. Bring some proof. Next time you want to talk about something, I want to see some proof. If you go to any university and say I was in India, they will just look at you and think this guy's an idiot. Okay, because when you say things, you have to qualify them, and you have to use you have to quantify what you're saying with actual proof. And how we do that is we explore the genes. Then we do that, we explore the genes. Okay, let's show you the breakdown of how Lucia. This is Lucia, bro. Okay. In order for we are right here, as far as in the modern hybrid human beings, but all of us, we're kind of like a modern version of what used to be. Okay. In the beginning, what they did, they took this rhesus monkey, okay, and a Neanderthal, okay. The Neanderthal didn't even come after that. Let me show you when the Neanderthal came. Okay, so they took this rhesus monkey, and they injected this rhesus monkey into a black African woman, which is the beginning. Okay, when you take this rhesus monkey and you inject the genes or you splice the genes into a black African woman, you get this Bigfoot being. Okay, if you ever heard anything to do with the Bigfoot theory, this is where it came from. And if you take this Bigfoot creature, and you crossbreed it again with the black African woman, you get the Aboriginals. And if you take this Aboriginal person, okay, and crossbreed it with a black woman, you get this, the cave people. Okay, you see these variations of cave people, okay? And if you take these cave people, and you splice them with different genes, okay, with a black African woman, what you get is this, the Cheddaman. Okay, this is where you go to Europe. When you go to Europe, the first European was black, a black person with straight hair. Okay, so when you start to say, oh yeah, we was already here, you guys are retarded. Okay, you take this European and you splice it with a black woman, what do you get? You get Lucia. So that's what this is where you guys are, but you don't understand that this took place. You don't understand this metamorphosis took place. The evolution. This is what Darwin was kind of talking about, but Darwin didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. He was just saying a bunch of things, but he had an idea of what he was talking about. Okay, he had an inkling of understanding how these genes were evolving, and to even prove it, when we look at all of these genes, look at these people. You see this person, okay? We got women with beards, okay? You see, we got women with beards. Don't we have that today? We do. We got black people that are half black and half white. Am I lying, bro? Am I lying? We got a mixed race person with freckles, and we got a black person that is half black and half white, which means there is no such thing as race, really. This means the beginning was the African. The African woman is the mother of all these beings. That's why these beings have all of this. When you go to America, you start to see people that look like this, that look like this. Okay, and when you even go into the early stages, or you look at anomalies in genes. Okay, anomalies is when sometimes we have these are called degenerations. Okay, you get people that have dog hair like this, like Lassie. Okay, and you even look at this dog. This dog has human DNA. That's why it's got a human-looking face. Okay, you go to India, this is what you find. Okay, and they explain this in films like Werewolf. You thought this stuff was to do with oh yeah, we're just making films. No, bro. Okay, you go to Ethiopia or China, you get people with horns on their heads, just like goats. Okay. Let me show you a bit more, just in case a few people think you know what the hell is going on and you don't. You go to Africa, you see people with, these are people that were engineered on different islands. So what they were doing is the Anunnaki were taking genes and splicing them with different animals. These people have ostrich feet. Okay, is this a lie? No, it's not. And when you go to even places like Nigeria, you get a woman that's half a woman, half a man, hermaphrodites. Okay, which means, well, they speak about this in the Dogon tribe. You go to the Dogon tribe, Dogon mythology, they tell you their god was half man, half woman, which means every single human being at some point were half man and half woman. Okay, so in order for the Anunnaki to kind of create a world where you stay on this planet, they had to split the woman and the man to create a woman and a man. So you spend your whole life looking for your what they call soulmate. Okay, but really and truly, it's not a soulmate. It's one person. Okay, a woman and a man together is actually one person. And this is why they're explaining this. So when you go in the Bible, they tell you, oh yeah, when you get married and your wife, you become one. But when you look at these Africans, you have a woman that is half a man, half a man. half a man, half a woman, because these are hermaphrodites. These are actual human beings. Okay, you go to Europe. What you see? You see women with beards. I can't make this stuff up, bro. You see this one? Look at it. Look at it, though. See, it's everywhere. You get people born with 3 legs. Okay. You got dwarfs. You got these men, half woman, people. Look at these. Look at all these women. All these women have beards. Okay. you sure be one channel that's dropping this. There's not one person that knows this stuff, because people are idiots. Okay. And let's even show you a bit more. You go to India, you see people born with tails like this, like dogs. Okay. Am I lying? This child is born with a tail. This child got a tail. This child got a tail. This child's got a tail. This is an Indian person, yeah. This is a European person. And you see this man here is standing here, and he's got a tail like a dog. This Indian Mexican looking person got a tail like a dog. Are we lying, guys? Okay, let's go to the Aboriginals. Look at this Aboriginal person's face. Okay. Phenotype means the study of the facial anatomy. Okay, that's what they call it in biology. If you was to go and study phenotype of human beings and study the skulls of human beings, you're basically studying the golden ratio, which is to do with the Fibonacci code, which is the Fibonacci ratio. They call it the golden ratio. If you study photography or portraiture, they will tell you the distance from the eyes to the nose to the lips is what tells you the phenotype of a human being, not just looking at their faces. You're looking at the distances between the face, between the eyes and the features on the face. And when you look at the skull of the human being, that's what determines what the human being's face is going to look like, the facial structure. Okay? That's what we mean when we say phenotype. We're not talking just about hair and skin color. We're talking about the whole structure of the skull, the whole distance from the eyes to the nose to the lips. And you see this Aboriginal person has a face which is ape-like in phenotype. Okay? You explain Lucia to me, bro. Okay? What else? Let's look at it. And when you even look at bands like Coldplay had this on the album cover. Coldplay is one of the baddest, one of the biggest iconic bands to ever write songs on the planet. People like David Bowie and people like that. They're what they call icons, okay? And they even came up with this concept as well, or explored this concept, okay? Look at these people's faces. These are Aboriginals, yeah? And you see how they have these ape-like features, ape-like features, ape-like features, ape-like features, okay? These are called the Australoid people, which were one of the first indigenous people in America, okay? The original beings of America. And you guys are saying this is you. This is not you, bro. Okay, you see all these people and look at their hair. The hair texture is what tells you the origin or what took place in the genes. Okay? You don't just get this hair. You get this hair because of genetic engineering, not Lucia. Okay? Big difference. Look at it. Look at it, though. Look at these people. Look at these species faces. Look at the faces of these, and as you can tell that this is where it came from, because it came from this genetic splicing. And when you splice genes, you get anomalies. The anomalies will be sometimes people come up with ginger hair. Okay, this is where you start to get all these Aboriginal looking people. But all of this is found every single place on the map where you look at and you get these black people with blonde hair, it's because genetic splicing took place. Have you got this information? No, you don't. The only thing you know is, we used to use bear grease. Just idiotic. Okay, the hair came from. Look where the hair came from. Okay, this is where the hair came from. It's all of this stuff is recorded and it's archived in the genes. The genes is what determines what the people are going to look like based on their genes, based on their origins. Okay, in order for these Anunnaki beings to create human beings, they had to splice genes with different animals to create variations of races. That's how genes work, bro. Okay, and when you look at these albinos, okay, albinism is just basically what albinism is when the genes that is supposed to activate the melanin to different parts of the body are inactive. Okay, that's called degeneration. It's not called mutation. There's a big difference between the two. Understand the terminologies when you use them. Mutation means going forwards or something metamorphosizing into something higher. Okay, but this is lesser because what's happening is that the gene in the hair is inactive, so the hair comes out blonde. Okay, the genes in the skin are inactive, so the skin comes out fair. Okay, that's how it works. That's how genes work, and you can see these albinos have freckles. Okay, that's an anomaly that's found in human beings because of what? Genetic engineering and degeneration. Find the same thing with animals. Polar bears, we got the bear, grizzly one, and we got the polar bear. We got the African lion, and we have these African white lions, which are hybrids. Not really hybrids, but they're degenerate. What's it called? What's it called? It's called version of it. Okay. When you go to America, what do you see? You see a whole bunch of people with hazel-looking eyes, and they still have African features. You see that? Same shit when you go to Ethiopia. Let's go to Ethiopia, bro. Ethiopia. Let's explore Ethiopian genes. What happens is people that have these smooth-looking foreheads and this round-looking faces because these beings are mixed with Middle Eastern genes. I would say about 80% of Somalian people are mixed with Middle Eastern genes. Okay, you don't believe it? Go and take a DNA test. Okay, take a DNA test and let's see about it. Let's see what comes up. You see it? You see it? Okay, that's what's happening. Now let's break down this Olmec nonsense. These beings that are called the Olmecs, they were giants, and you can tell that these beings had a high advanced technology to even make up this stuff. These are giants, okay? And look at the technology they got. These beings had headphones on, okay? Headphones. Communication headphones. In ancient times, there is not one person that had headphones back in those days. Your granddad had headphones. Your granddad did not have headphones. You need to stop this. Okay, look at these beings. These are giant beings. They're not regular beings. Okay, this is not your granddad. Look at it. Let's look at the Olmecs. This is an Olmec head. There's not one black person on the planet that has the technology to make an Olmec head today. There is not one human being, okay, on the planet that can make an Olmec head. And if you don't believe me, go in your back garden, and I want to see you create an Olmec head using this stone. Okay. Okay. This is a granite stone. Okay. In order for you to cut this, you need to have a diamond cutter instrument to cut this, and even the diamond cutting instrument to cut this, it will struggle to even cut these precision lines. Okay. These heads were created by giants. Okay, that's just, you know, and they were created by highly civilized people. And in order for you to understand this, you need to have a study of archaeology, and a study of anthropology, a study of genealogy, a study of phenotype, a study of pathology, because these methodologies, they teach you how to calculate these results. You have to qualify what you say. If your granddad was an Olmec, you show me one granddad in your whole family that can create this headstone. Okay, and this person is about, let's be generous, he's about 6 feet tall. This Olmec head alone is about 10 feet tall. Okay, 10 feet to like 15. You cannot make this. Okay, you can't make this today, but you wanna have people believing your granddad was making. It's just ridiculous. Black people are the most ridiculous people on the planet, bro. I don't talk to black people. This is just silly, some of the stuff you niggas be saying. Okay, these are interlocking rocks found in Peru, Brazil, America, Ethiopia, Africa, all of these. You cannot make this. You see this one rock here? You cannot cut this rock with any technology on this planet, okay? And you alone to even try interlock it with all these other rocks. You see the precision that it takes to cut this, okay? In order for an Olmec to cut this, there had to be a highly civilized being using about 80% of their brains, okay? Your granddad was not doing this, okay? Your granddad was not cutting rocks to precision where these rocks can interlock. Do you know the technology that needs to be used to? You need to use some magnetic radiation cutting, diamond cutting technology to cut this. Even a diamond cutter cannot cut this rock, okay? Before it even cut this one line here, your machine will be in fire or something, okay? It's ridiculous, guys. Some of the stuff you niggas be saying is just the most retarded things, and you find all this stuff everywhere, okay? You go to Egypt to find this stuff everywhere, and you see. Okay, this is not your granddad. You see this guy's hair? It's not your granddad, bro. Okay. See all these people? These are not your granddads. Okay, you just have to. The levels of retardation that we're going into is just amazing. A lot of niggas are retarded. Okay, and we have people like Dane Calloway posting these people. This is an Indian person, but they're not from America. Okay, but he will post this and say, "Yo, we was already untold stories. We was already. You're not these people." Okay, and the only people that fit this is these people, because this is not you. And you say this is your granddad. You see all these people, they're straight hair though. Okay. And you see these people's phenotype is almost like a Mexican looking face. But Dane Calloway's posting, they're saying, this is us. We was already here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. It's retardation going on. Okay? And when you post these paintings saying this is you, it's not you. Okay? Look at these people's noses. The only people that match this is this, okay? And you see the hair is long and it's straight, okay? This is not your granddad, bro. You niggas need to stop this shit. See, next time a black person tells you, yo, this is me, just say cool story, okay? Just say cool story, sounds amazing, okay? It just sounds amazing. Look at all these people, okay? And when you look at the paintings, look at the people's noses. Look at the people's noses. Look at the people's noses. They all have the same noses, even though they're black and they have dreadlocks and whatever. This is not you, bro. Okay, this is these people. They have Mexican-looking faces, though. Okay, same shit. Everywhere you look